Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of November 1st, 2018. I'm Christina Reese.
And I'm Brandon Zek.
And we are counting down the top 5 art events in Texas this week.
Number 5 this week is a show that I recently saw in Austin. It's closing on November 5th, so this is kind of your last chance to see it. It's Shanie Tomassini, Slippery Clump. This is a show, it's the Umlauf Prize show at the Umlauf Sculpture Garden and Museum in Austin. So every year, the Umlauf Prize is awarded to a UT MFA student, MFA candidate, and they get to do this show in Umlauf's gallery and throughout the Umlauf Garden. And it's really cool because, the museum is dedicated to preserving the work of Charles Umlauf, but Shanie's show is really beautiful. It's kind of DIY, people walk into the gallery and think that they're still in the install process. These really enlarged sculptures that are made of perfectly cut foam combined coated with a thin layer of concrete, and they have spritzers that are growing moss, and it's very buildery. It's a younger aesthetic, which is nice to see in the Umlauf every year whenever this show happens.
Number 4 on our list is C.J. Davis, who is showing at Plush Gallery in Dallas. It opens this weekend. Now, Plush Gallery is owned by Randall Garrett. It's been through several iterations. The most recent one, it is inside a space in a prominent architecture firm in the design district. So you go into the space. It's kind of a casual, cool, groovy space. CJ is a Dallas-based artist. I haven't seen him show publicly in the last few years, but this is probably his 3rd solo show with Plush. He's witty, he's funny, he uses all different kinds of materials in a sort of abject way, but there's generally something quite poetic about it. His day job is teaching art to elementary school kids. I think he's going to bring some of that subject into this work without it necessarily being saccharine or child-friendly. I think it's going to be clever.
Number 3 this week is a show by Robert Hodge called If You Know, You Know, at the South Texas College Library Art Gallery in McAllen, Texas. So one of the reasons we're including this show is because we love Robert's work. We've shot a top 5 with him and Tierney Malone before, and we've talked about his work before.
Yeah, he's Houston-based, by the way.
Yeah, but one of the other reasons we're including the show is to highlight the cool things that are happening outside of kind of the 4 main art centers of Texas that we normally talk about: Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and Houston. Because, we've been getting events and we list things in the Valley regularly, and there's really cool stuff happening at the various South Texas College art galleries. They're in libraries of different campuses, and they've been doing shows regularly, and they always look really interesting, and they're dealing with a lot of times issues that are really central to, the community in the Valley. And this is just a great instance to be able to highlight their programming. Number 2 this week is a program of Sculpture Month Houston. It's an installation by Joanne Fleischhauer. It's called Trapping Time, and it's in a weird venue. It's in a decommissioned air traffic control tower at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. So this is outside of the loops. You got to go to an airport to see it. You won't be able to walk up into the air traffic control tower, which is a really weird experience because it's, there's no power in the building, or at least there wasn't when I visited, and it was just kind of this weird, eerie, desolate space. And because there's no power, there's no elevator, so to do this install, Joanne and everyone else have had to climb these amazing, horrible stairs into the space. But it's going to be really beautiful. So part of Sculpture Month Houston, Joanne is using the windows of these air traffic control towers, of course, this 360-degree view, and turning the windows into large light boxes. It's very poetic. It's dealing with the space. You'll be able to view it. It'll be on until it closes in January of 2019. And I was told that you can see it if you're coming in on a plane. So if you're coming into Bush Intercontinental at night, be on the lookout for the air traffic control tower that's just kind of lighting up the night sky.
All right, so number 1 on our list this week is a twofer at the Kimball Art Museum in Fort Worth. This 2 shows opened just a couple of weeks ago. One is called Balenciaga in Black. One is called Goya in black and white. You see a theme here. We're talking about Spaniards. Balenciaga, fantastic designer. These are some of his designs from 1937 through 1968. Some of the most exquisite dresses and work that I've seen out of a designer. I was so wowed by these individual pieces. You can just imagine Audrey Hepburn in any one of them. The work on them is absolutely crazily beautiful. Very Catholic, very Spanish, very sort of Gothic. And then in the other room is Goya. These are prints and watercolors, works on paper from the Museum of Fine Arts Boston. There are about 75 of his absolutely exquisite works on paper. This is from, I think, maybe 5 of his best-known series, including some from Disasters of War. Take your time through this. I'm going to go back to see it. I think it's fantastic. This is a great day out at the Kimball. I highly recommend both of these shows.